How to recognize and react to narcissists' gaslighting control techniques. In today's video, we'll discuss narcissists' gaslighting, a form of abuse that can manifest in mental, emotional, and spiritual ways yet can be hard to spot. An indicator of narcissistic abuse is the employment of gaslighting techniques. If someone makes you doubt your own views, memories, and identity to the point where you start to question your sanity, they are gaslighting you. And narcissists accomplish this by making stuff up, embellishing, denying, and manipulating others. When a loved one or trusted friend deliberately plays with your feelings, this is called emotional manipulation. To gaslight means to blame the sufferer for what happened to them. This will have a negative impact on their sentiments and perspectives. Why? The phrase "to flip the cake unto the other" is a common Spanish expression for gaslight. A strategy for overcoming weaknesses through attacking the strengths of another, typically through ingenuity. The mortifying habit of uttering words and phrases that have no place in normal conversation. People who have experienced something similar often lose faith in their own emotional faculties and hence become incapable of making rational choices. This deceptive strategy is called smoke screen or smoke curtain in Spanish, a method of keeping something or someone out of the public eye. People can appear to be acting properly and lawfully, but it is always conceivable that they are concealing something for their own benefit. Although it may take some time, the truth will finally become known. The term gaslighting refers to a form of psychological manipulation in which one person convinces another to question the veracity of his or her own experiences. An abuser's purpose is to make their victim question who they are, what they remember, and whether or not they are sane. Rather than relying on one's education and work history, this person places greater value on their own subjective insights and experiences. Therefore, both the abused and bystanders will continue to think the abuser is correct. Instead, they place the blame on the victim, thinking that they are mistaken in their perceptions or memories. The goal of the liar is to have you doubt your own convictions and the reality you perceive when you look objectively at the situation. You'll get the impression that you're overreacting, oversensitive, and mentally ill from these people. Narcissists worry about being found out all the time because they are so self-absorbed. It might take years to recover from the damage done by pointing the finger at others, especially within toxic and dysfunctional family structures. Gaslighting is a form of emotional, mental, and spiritual abuse with the goals of causing the victim to feel anxious, afraid, and confused. It's important to note that both the abuser, who is referred to as the gaslighter, and the victim, who is referred to as the gaslighted, are complicit in the intentional and systematic actions of gaslighting, even though the victim might not realize it. Any person, regardless of age, race, gender, or IQ, is susceptible to being gaslit. That in no way reflects on the validity of the abuser's accusations or your mental health. Because of your generosity and lack of self-interest, you leave yourself open to such treatment. This is often the result of being forced to feel responsible for everything from a young age, a pattern that begins with abuse and becomes normalized through time. As an empath, it's hard to understand why a loved one would treat you poorly when you know you wouldn't treat anybody else that way. We cannot help people who are more on the destructive end of the narcissistic scale. They do not worry about you at all. If you stay silent, the abuser will likely continue to gaslight you by placing the blame on something or someone else. Someone is gaslighting you if they are trying to get you to doubt yourself or defend yourself against false accusations. Not everyone who acts concerned or claims they care actually does. It's possible that you're experiencing some social anxiety as a result of this. You're asking for more difficulty if you feel like you need to apologize, explain, or defend yourself all the time, even when you're sure you haven't done anything wrong. Let's say you have serious doubts about the reliability of your own feelings, thoughts, recollections, and even sanity. If you answered yes, it's likely that you've been the victim of gaslighting before. To sum up, gaslighting entails lying, manipulating, and tricking someone into doing what you want them to do so that you can gain control over them. Gaslighting is a form of psychological and emotional manipulation in which the target is subjected to efforts to influence their state of mind. After a blunder or a breakdown in communication has happened, things always get more difficult. In this way, if you see a pattern with a specific person or group, it may serve the gaslighter's purpose to maintain that pattern. You can assess how pervasive this mistake is by thinking about how often the purported miscommunication is called just another misunderstanding. See if there's somebody who gives you second thoughts or makes you feel like you need to make amends to yourself. Is it your regular routine to make up excuses for anything that goes wrong? How much effort do you believe they're making to convince you and everyone else that you're crazy? Think about it seriously. The effects of gaslighting and other forms of chronic emotional abuse are to make the victim doubt their own perceptions and memories. Listen to your body and pay attention to any red flags it may throw. Keep an eye out for signs that the narcissist is attributing his or her problems to other people or situations. They are eager to place the blame for anything negative in their lives, including interpersonal conflicts, on us. They delight in embarrassing us in whatever way they can by insulting, misrepresenting, and otherwise treating us badly. Their main goal is to convince people that they are better than the rest of us. By making the other person feel like they aren't paying attention or, even worse, stupid, silly, inadequate, or inferior, one can chip away at the other's sense of self-worth and esteem in any relationship. Those who act in this way are either crafty or heartless. It's the narcissist's job to try to gaslight you, but decent people will see through the act. If someone is constantly shamed by being told they can't be loved, they will begin to believe it. It's easy to see how this encourages people to work harder to win the love, admiration, and respect they've always sought. There is no truth to any of this. The narcissist could feel more powerful and in charge of everything. Whether or not you know what gaslighting is, I want to reassure you that you do not have to tolerate it. No one has any business prying into another person's mental or emotional health, whether at home or at work. You are under no obligation to bear it. To choose is up to you. No one has the right to have their memories or worldviews used against them to make them feel crazy, incorrect, or unworthy. It doesn't matter that it has nothing to do with you. They keep acting in the same way that you do. Really, they're both spreading false information about you and to you. You shouldn't listen to any of them since they're all lying. You need just be genuine and allow others the same freedom. I hope this little explanation is helpful. Please share your thoughts and experiences with us by commenting below. If you liked this video and want to see more like it when it's uploaded, subscribe to our channel and click the bell button. Thank you for viewing and for sharing your thoughts with us. See you later.